so go ahead with
Okay.
opening
Happy
comment.
holidays, first of all, to everybody. Obviously, coming off the game the other night, wasn't very pleased, was disappointed in how we played in a lot of different areas. I just didn't think we played very well. I don't think it was necessarily just one thing. And, we watched the film as a group. I think certainly our mindset needed to be better than what it was. I think we were in the right place to start the game, and then maybe a couple things didn't go our way. We needed to respond better. We've talked a lot about that over the last 2 to 3 days. I thought we played out of character and tried to make too many home run plays at both ends, didn't stay true to what we were supposed to do, possession by possession. And learned a lot, through it. Obviously we had practice yesterday, and we had a good practice yesterday. We have another one today in preparation for Ohio State on Sunday. I know our guys are anxious to get back out there after the way that we played the other day. Certainly wasn't up to our standards. Obviously it'll be a great challenge for us. A really good defensive ball club, very talented. You look at their defensive statistics as usual. Very impressive. Do a great job protecting the rim. They have great size and length. And then offensively, they have a lot of weapons. They can hit you on the glass, hit you in transition. Lyle's great when he getting in the paint. Pates Diop, Loving, Cam Williams. Those guys can make shots and make plays for their team. And it'll be a good challenge for us. We're excited to get back out on the court. I know the guys are talking to Tracy yesterday, anxious to get back out there. Questions?
So talking to the players, especially your leaders, Malcolm and Tracy, it seemed like they both said a lot of it had to do with communication there when Maryland had done a couple of runs, sort of took you guys out of sync and couldn't recover. Would you say that's sort of the reason?
Part of it. Obviously those two guys are taking a lot of responsibility and they should, and that's what leaders do. They probably could have led a little bit better. All of us could have done a little bit better. We took a look at it, and now it is what it is. We're moving on. We already had our opportunity to learn from it when we watched the film, and yesterday, today, and of course tomorrow, we'll continue to prepare. Most importantly, ourselves, and also for a good Ohio State team.
And you said you practiced well going into the game. Is that correlation from practicing well or poorly, and then?
Well, obviously, it didn't correlate the other day. I think we made some mistakes that we have been making in the game, watching the film. But I think the biggest thing was just, as I said earlier, the mindset of that we needed to have throughout the course of the 40 minutes. How you respond to things that are difficult and adverse. We had made a lot of progress there. I thought we took some steps backwards the other day. And, it's much like anything else. I told them, it's like a relationship with a person. You can't communicate enough. You can't invest in it enough. You have to do that daily. You have to put what I call deposits in the bank daily. And we didn't do that the other day. And it was a great lesson. We didn't honor the process. Communication was a part of it. I just didn't think we had the right mindset throughout the course of the 40 minutes that we needed to have, certainly from a consistency standpoint.
With as experienced a team as you have, was that a surprise that they didn't get that?
Absolutely. That's why I was so surprised after the game. Those guys, obviously we got some mistakes to clean up execution-wise and all that. We've had some of that. We're working to get better in some areas. But the mindset, Scott, no question. I expect more. I have a higher standard for our group from a mindset perspective than the mindset that we had the other day over the course of the 40 minutes.
Defensively, the dribble drive really hurt you guys. What do you feel like is the biggest key to stopping that?
Well, I'm being simplistic here, but you got to keep the ball in front, and our positioning needs to be better, and we've got to trust what we're supposed to do more than we did the other day, more consistently.
Coach, going against Ohio State, obviously going up against that, so very, very well. What's this game mean to you? And obviously, what do you tell your team knowing exactly what to expect from like that?
Yeah, well, obviously we went against each other for a few years now, so that part of it, I've always said this. I mean, I wouldn't certainly have an opportunity like this one or others that I've had without him. He's had an amazing influence on my life, my family's life. I'm very appreciative of that. And when we're not playing them, I certainly root for them. But once the game tips tomorrow night, it comes down to our effort, our execution, doing what we're supposed to do. Certainly regardless of who we play. On Sunday, I should say. I'm used to doing this the day before, KB.
Coach, Dijon Lucas' minutes have varied quite a bit this year. What would you like to see, or in order for him to have more consistent minutes, or is that a goal for him to have a regular?
Well, I think he's getting better. Obviously, all freshmen, I think the starting point is they've got to defend and know what they're doing defensively within our system, and then be able to take care of the ball. Once you get those two things established, then you can kind of grow from there if you have those two things as your foundation. Obviously, he's taking pretty good care of the ball. He's a little over 1-to-1. We expect a higher standard there for point guards, and he knows that, and I think he's more than capable and is ready even now to be more than a one, just at a 1-to-1 guy or a little bit over. And defensively, he's gotten better. He had a really good practice yesterday. I thought he was really good, and has had a disposition where he's continued to get better every day, and I like the progress that he's making.
John, you see some early surprises, I guess, in the conference. What does that say in terms of how balanced the conference is as a whole?
Yeah,
as it gets.
As I've gotten older and do this more and more, I don't pay attention too much to. I see the scores, I follow our league, but at this point, I'm more concerned about us and how we're playing, and are we playing well? Are we having quality possessions on offense and defense? Obviously we made a lot of traction over the last month from where we were back in November. Thought we took a step backwards or two the other day, and that's got to be addressed as we move forward. It has been here in practice and will be as we proceed and move into the Ohio State game on Sunday.
As well as Trimble and Cowan did, as well as they played getting to the basket, where do you may evaluate your team on just their potential to have that as a part of the offense?
To play like they play?
Well, no, attacking the basket and finishing at the rim.
Pretty good. We need to throw it in there more. I like it when it goes inside. We got two guys shooting 60-some%. I think 4 or 5 of them that play down there collectively are shooting like 56, 57% on 2-point field goals. That's not bad. And we need to get it in there.
Coach, Maryland goes on an early run, get the crowd into it a little bit. You feel like that's a key for you guys being back here at home first time in a while?
Yeah, obviously we like having our fans. It's great to be able to play in this building. It's great to have our fans here. But at the end of the day, you've got to be unconditional. Court's 94 by 50. Every team in the league is playing 9 home and 9 away, and you have to approach it the same way mentally. The other day, obviously their crowd got going a little bit, and from a mindset perspective, we've got an older team. We should be able to be resilient. That shouldn't really be a factor.
A lot of things you guys don't want to work on. The Big Ten opener. What's the one thing there are?
Mindset.
Your message to fans who are obviously frustrated, see 25 more, expect better, keep on building.
Good questions, Brett. Goodness gracious. Obviously, we want to play better than we played the other day. And I want those guys to do it for each other. Certainly one thing those guys talk a lot about doing it for Illinois. And, obviously we want to play better basketball. We want to control what we can control. We've been doing that very, very well. The other day we took a step backwards. We've got to improve a great deal. But at the end of the day, I want them answering certainly, to themselves. They owe each other that. They care for each other a lot. We've got a very close-knit team. And, we want to play and understand it's about paying forward as well as, representing our past and great tradition that we have. But at the end of the day, you've got to worry about what's in front of you, and that's what I want them focused on right now. I thought the other day we did not play the possession that was in front of us. I thought we allowed plays that had happened a few minutes before or the possession before to affect us too much, and that's what I mean by mindset. You got to play the play that's in front of you. And that's what if we do that and we play well and we have quality possessions, then that's all we can control. That's all we can ask. And then at that point, that gives you a chance to get the outcomes and play well, play better that you want to have. It's not that it's not the other way around. So the other day we didn't play the right way enough. We just didn't. We didn't meet our standards, and I'll give our guys credit for doing that over the last month. But the other night was not one of those nights where we did it nearly consistently enough.
Joe, when you talk about making plays for each other and making plays, allowing previous plays to affect it, are you talking offensively, or did that happen?
Both, Lauren. Yeah, I just thought that I thought we were selfish a little bit defensively, maybe even more so than offensively. I thought that certainly we could have had some more quality possessions on offense, but at the end of the day, I thought defensively was where it stood out, maybe even a little bit more. Our positioning, where we're supposed to be at. I just didn't think that we collectively as a group defended the ball very well. There's one ball out there, we got to defend that ball. I just didn't think we did it very well. Didn't stay true to our system.
Coach Tracy and LeBron haven't had great back-to-back games individually. What are you seeing from them? Are you encouraged that they're going to bounce back?
Yeah, they got to play better. They know that. Those guys, both those guys, really care a great deal, Derek. I mean, a lot. And they want to play well. They've got the right mindset and spirit for that. I just thought the other day when things didn't go, neither guy played particularly well. When that happens, you got to get caught up in the team and find a way to help your teammates and help your team. You may not have a great individual game every game, but you can't allow that to affect how you impact your teammates and impact your team. I think those guys would be the first to tell you that they learned, from that, having talked to them. But both those guys are great guys, competitors. I mean, I love both of them.
We're kind of in a 12 months. You get started on a good start in the Big Ten. Maybe it's a little flatter at the end of the day. How important is it at the beginning here to play well?
Well, it's important to play well, period. I mean, we need to, play well today in practice. We need to play well tomorrow. We need to play well, we want to play well on Sunday. But, our focus has been, I've used the analogy with them, Bret, of climbing a ladder. You have to take one step at a time. We're not here rushing into, what this thing's going to look like 2 weeks from now, or, hey, what it looked like 1 week ago. Like, that's irrelevant. I mean, that we can't control that. We've got to be prepared to have a great practice today, and I've tried to get them to understand that they got to honor the process. I felt like we had done that quite a bit over the last month, again, which is why I think we're getting a lot better in a lot of different areas. The other day, I didn't think we honored the process and played the right way consistently enough at both ends of the floor. Thus, we didn't play very well. We've got to play better. We have played better, and I'm confident that we will.
Turnovers, you'd like to have it 10.
Yeah, we're used to that, obviously. We're playing a little bit faster with a little bit more thrust. But, yeah, I mean, 10, 11, if we had that, that'd be great. The other day we had too many. We had 17. And there are a variety of ways in which we're getting them. We've got to try, and we've talked about that. If your percentage of possessions, you turn the ball over, whatever, 1 out of 5, let's say you get, or then that puts you at a real disadvantage. We've got to find a way. And I know it doesn't sound like a huge difference, but in a 70 to 80 possession game, having 11 instead of 17 or instead of 15. I know it's only like 6 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 4 or 5 less, but it's a big deal. And our guys know that. We've talked to them about that. We've got to take better care of the ball.
It's with all of the pretty talented point guards you played. How does Jaquan Miles match up? Maybe it's different because of his size.
Yeah, he's different, Scott, because he's 6'4", 6'5" as a point guard with, and he's got a great body, and he really knows how to finish in and around the basket. He sees things instinctively as a passer. He's a terrific passer. He throws passes like, whoa. He sees things, sometimes a play, or a step or two, I should say, ahead. Has a real gift with that. Can make guys better, and obviously when he gets in the paint, he can score. And he is a little bit different because of his size and his body. It makes him a tough cover.
Anything on the phone lines?
Phone lines. Thanks, guys. Happy holidays.